McDonald's, I can't believe it. Did you know, for years and years, you'd pull out right here in Wildwood, it was Gibson's TV.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're putting there? Who said it? A Burger King.
Really?
Yes,
That's what I
really.
hear. 'Cause that's what we need.
The signs are out.
There's a sign there.
Yep.
Oh, okay, there's a sign there.
I really don't go to McDonald's almost ever.
You don't
Just
just
say it.
I sense some guilt.
I sense denial.
You're in church, you can deal with that guilt.
Usually breakfast, that's about it.
Breakfast is a...
She dresses like Ronald.
Oh. Oh,
All
Gary.
right, no more comments from the peanut gallery. A harbinger of, we hope,
I'll give them
good
myself.
things and a better time. I hope sincerely for it, and we hope. And I'm thinking this morning, especially all of those people, I'm sure there's a few of you here, whose commutes to and from work, some of you I'm sure at dark 30 in the morning has been upended by all of the work and the construction on 696. Well, I have good news for you. Just the other day, in fact, on Friday morning, just literally outside my window, there were trucks, all manner of heavy equipment, men and women in hard hats consulting and working, and hopefully all of it taken together, a herald of better days and a more convenient commute to work. The end of work now on a brand new stretch, a ribbon of concrete, we hope at least for the first few weeks, devoid of any potholes, we hope. I recall the words this morning. It was kind of one of the campaign slogans, but it was also included in it, embedded in it, is a promise, and I would never say this word in church, but I'll just quote what Gretchen had to say. Fix the damn roads. You heard that before? Fix the roads. And might I add this morning on behalf of 10 million Michiganders, please, pretty please, do it right the first time.
Amen.
The proper depth, the right thickness. Here's a novel idea, the right mix. Can I get an amen? Amen. There you go. We love that. I'll have you know, by the way, that Michigan is an awesome place. The roads stink, but it's an awesome place. But I was reading online, because I got that kind of time, that they ranked all 50 states by their roads, and Michigan, there were 19 states whose roads were judged to be even worse than Michigan.
No way.
No way.
So you are average, and you can take pleasure in that. But we would all agree, do it right the first time. Pure, unadulterated common sense, which means I could probably never get elected. But anyway, back in the spring, it began in earnest with more noise than you could ever imagine. In fact, this building, this fortress of concrete and steel shook and shimmied as if it were in the midst of the Blitz in London in the mid-40s. I sat at the computer on a Saturday afternoon when the demolition began, breaking up the concrete. And I sat at the computer, and raining on me was dust and all manner of debris. And I thought to myself, as they were breaking up that concrete, in this building, and I cannot emphasize this enough, most of you were not here, this building shook like you would not believe. And this building, anytime we've ever had work done, one of the things that the structural engineers always say is this: typical 1950s construction, more concrete, and more steel than they really did. In stark contrast, and everybody here, you know this is true, in stark contrast to how they build homes today, which is not enough of just about everything you can think of. But nevertheless, I thought to myself, if this building is shaking so violently, and violent, that is not an exaggeration, if this building is shaking like that, what in the world is happening to all of those homes along the service drive of 696? I'll never forget it. And so I will never be able to read or to hear John the Baptist quote his favorite guy, Isaiah, in quite the same way. Thunder in the desert. Prepare God's arrival. Make the road smooth and straight, please. Every ditch will be filled in. Every bump will be smoothed out. And the detours straightened out. And all the ruts will be paved over. Promises, promises. Everyone will be there to see the parade of God's salvation. A road, the weirdo in the wilderness says. But a road unlike any other, because it will not just simply take you from St. Clair Shores to Warren and then to Madison Heights and points beyond. But a road, John says, that leads into the noise and the confusion and the joy and the fear and the anxiety at the center of the human heart. Prepare. Now, that is a good word for Advent, a very good word for Advent. And by the way, just to make mention of the fact, 2 down and 2 to go, which I personally prefer than somebody telling me only 15 shopping days left till Christmas. I always really appreciate that. No pressure, by the way, but only 15 days left. Prepare so that when we arrive together, we know why we have come and we know who we are celebrating, rather than just oftentimes what's offered to us is just kind of half-baked, nebulous feeling of Yuletide joy, whatever that might be. This holiday, amongst all of them, defined in a million different ways by people who are always willing to tell us what the real meaning of the Christmas holiday is. It's about this, it's about that, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, somebody will say, it's about family. And I would say, thanks, Kelly Ripa. Thanks for sharing that. But no, a priest said one time, it isn't about your family. It isn't about your family. It isn't. It's about the Holy Family. I'd like to meet him. And then he said to people, I hope you'll bring your families to celebrate it. Because that's what it's really all about. Advent exists because something of such importance is worthy of every effort that we can extend to get ready. Not as someone reminds us, not so that in a sense we come to church and we psych ourselves up as if somehow Jesus had never been born in the world. As if a great preacher says, and I love this, heaven and earth have yet to kiss to form and to make a royal baby. Christ has come. We're not pretending that he hasn't. And we also say Christ has died. And he is risen. And the focus ultimately of all Advent preparation is on this, that Christ will come again. And preparing means living prepared, means living faithfully, means living well. Living well between the times, between the first and the second coming, between the already and the not yet, God's new creation. Smack dab in the midst of this season that is cloaked in blue, the word comes to each and every one of us as it came to a nobody by the name John, son of Zechariah, on the borderlands of human existence. And the same word comes to each and every one of us, to each and every one of us, to each of us, given, and even though none of us are a part of the elite, not one of us is part of the filthy rich, not one of us is well-connected or powerful as the world deems power. It comes to us, to each and every one of us. It comes to us because you are the way through which God cares for the world. You are the way through which God works for the sake of a hurting world. Just a week before Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, David Rogers returned home to Harper Woods from his evening class. He walked into his home, and he knew immediately that something was different. Something was wrong. Heard the shower. Went upstairs. Discovered that his father had literally dropped dead. And what had made it all the more nightmarish was the fact that just a few years before he had returned home as a sophomore, to the same house to discover that his mother had died. To bury both of your parents by the age of 21. Let me ask you this morning, what did you know about life at 21? The answer is simply that 99.9% of you, not much at all. You knew nothing about life at 21. Someone, however, intervened on his behalf, on behalf of his family. Someone who understands, as the book of James says to each and every one of us, there are certain moments in life and certain circumstances in life that you are confronted with. And if all you can say is, God bless you and go in peace, save your breath. It doesn't do anybody any good. Save your breath. So I know this person. This person met David and his brother. They had no formal wear whatsoever to wear to a funeral. This person met them at a men's store and made sure that when they leave, they were decked out head to toe. They were ready to say goodbye to their father. And days later, as the well-wishers and the crowds began to dissipate, she met David, now living all alone in the house because both parents had died. And so they sat down and they began to do basic things that, the truth is, and you know this is the truth, would never have occurred to any of us at the age of 21. To actually go through the mail. There are adults for whom that never occurs. To go through the mail and to pick out things called bills, because they have to be paid. And what it was, in essence, was the beginning of an extended tutorial on life. And I happen to know that just last week, the same person met David at a grocery store. What would you have known about a grocery store at 21? You can't live on Pop-Tarts, can you? You can't. Some people try. It doesn't work very well. And so she made sure that David's refrigerator was filled and the cupboards were filled with all the kinds of things that would never occur to a 21-year-old kid. And when they were all done, she said to him, I just want you to know, she said, this isn't just, a flurry of activity based on some warm sentiment that changes like the weather. Next week and 6 months from now, 5 years from now, David, I'm always going to be in your corner. It's not enough sometimes to just say, well, God bless you and go in peace. Please say it. Don't say it. Make us look bad. Where is this? During the second year of Donald Trump's presidency, just as Nancy Pelosi was preparing to take the speaker's gavel when Gretchen Whitmer was the governor-elect of the state of Michigan, and Matt Patricia was in his first year with the Detroit Lions, the word of God came again to all the people of St. Mark. Live well, live prepared, live faithfully in